I'm trying not to be happy.
Ifa, thank you for 102 months. Appreciate you. It's fine. It's fine. It becomes spoilers committee for you if you don't do the cool work. Excuse me. Yeah, you say that, Doug. And I feel like you're wrong. Seriously, mechanically wrong. Like, in an objective sense. This is the thing I feel like people do not seem to grasp about spoilers. And in fact, you said the things. You said twists. You said details. I don't think that it's because you're going to spoil a twist. I think spoilers are much, much more than just a twist, which may or may not exist in any story. The fact is, if you already know, I mean, you can know this just by knowing, like, the experience you have watching something a second time is not the same as the first time that you watch it. And knowing the plot points or knowing certain things or etc., whatever, whether positively or negatively, will have an impact on how you experience the thing. I mean, video games, it's applicable, but also different, because with video games, you are a participant in the experience, whereas with a movie, everyone's getting the same, thing. You're not controlling the protagonist. So it's a little bit muddier with video games. Obviously, you are free to believe whatever you want about your personal experience. I'm not genuinely trying to say you're wrong about that part. I am saying that I think, basically, I think you're overlooking the reality that your experience is shaped and changed by things like someone just telling you what the end of a story is. You may not have the same emotional reaction to that ending because the way that you experienced the ending was someone told you what it was while you were just chatting with them in some, you don't have any of the run up, you know what I mean? You don't have any of the rest of the story that built up to that point. And then knowing it when you're watching the movie, then after that, you now just know what's coming, and that colors your every, feeling. The way you take in every moment is now impacted by the fact that you know what's coming. Do you see what I'm saying? It just really bothers me when people flippantly are like, spoilers don't matter. Yeah, it definitely does. It definitely does, even for the people who say it doesn't for them. Sorry, but it's just true. Which I'm not saying you did, Doug. I'm just saying I got to the part of it where I drifted away from you and just went into where I'm an old person that has like 1,000 different annoyed things that annoy me. You beating it? We're cranking it. Anonymous, thank you for the 3 months gift sub to Surfer Dude. Yeah, Outer Wilds is definitely a great example of an experience you can only have one time. You really can't have that experience again. Because now I can fire up Outer Wilds and I can pretend like I don't know exactly where the end of the game is. But like I do. So it's crazy, right? Outer Wilds is absolutely impossible to replay. No, yeah, I mean, I'm not. The best way is to watch someone else do it, basically. That's the only way you can really experiencing it. Wow, I botched that sentence dramatically. The only other way you have of really experiencing it again. Yeah, or having catastrophic memory problems. Yep, that's the other way. I'm not even sure that that's the twist, Fairtrix. Like, I get what you're saying. True. Sadly, I have had various ideas for what I would like to do for Scream-A-Day this year, which is now a mere 2 months away, and I absolutely will not have time to execute on my ideas. I always have these ideas too late. I need to be like a year out. That's what I need to do forever going forward. October. Yeah. I've had multiple ideas. It's just... when am I gonna have time to work on this stuff? I fixed Screaming Day TV, by the way. It is functional once again.
Oh God.
Oh no. Why oh no him? See? It works. This is where you left things. It's all still here. I saved your settings. It's all in the server. It's always going to be there. It looked like it said disable bugs. Are you guys, you got it stuck? Yeah, it takes like 10 minutes to fade away, right? This is a mess. I can hardly tell what's going on. I did not update the list of games or anything. There you go. You did it. If you check the file system, you can see when you last saved. I don't know if that's interesting. Damn, that's crazy. You went too far. One or the other, Dave. There you go. Who knows what's in slot 5? Wait, what happened? What won? Oh, slot 5. I think slot 5 won. It was a tie because there was only one vote on each thing. So when that happens, it has to roll the dice and pick one. Dork put a period on the end of the word colors, and I guess it didn't count. Oh, no. No, I see that he did say colors. That is strange. I don't know why that didn't work. Actually, putting a period on probably shouldn't matter. Wait a minute. Dork, I think you did it, and then you didn't wait long enough for it to appear on screen, and then you said colors again, which removes your vote. I think you just didn't... You maybe have, like, probably stream lag or whatever, but you can take your vote away. Yeah. Type channels again. And it'll go away. Help me. Thank you. Okay, well, I thought it would, but it didn't. Yeah, that's how it's supposed to work. You're supposed to be able to retract your vote by just doing it again. Oh, maybe in the case of the top ones, you have to choose a different one to like move your vote. I don't quite remember. My bad. For some reason, I thought that worked that way, but... What did you do? What did you choose? Oh, this one. Hell yeah. Hell yeah, Dave. Turning it gay. Yes, Speed Flare.
No matter how hard you play, no matter how hard you pray, you will always be defeated.
Channel ended. There's so many more well-known songs about other more well-known people, Dav. We did some good games. It was a good list. That is threatening. It is scary. No, I don't, Em. I really don't. All right. Well, shall we enjoy? Much to discuss. Much to discuss. And I suppose we should start with the piano. Which was very interesting. I'd never even heard of it, and literally only thought to watch it because Sam Neill was talking about it in some interview after he passed away. It was being shared around, and it mentioned the film, and I was like, never seen it. I'm a big Sam Neill fan. Let's watch it. I think it was a good film. But it was a difficult watch. That's how I would characterize that. It's a very well-made film, but not necessarily pleasant to watch. But it was... I'm glad I've seen it now. I guess I'll say that. Well, I don't think that it was trying to avoid essentially some uncomfortable reality. I also thought that I didn't really have anywhere to stand in terms of whether the Maori representation was good or not, but I had the impression, or it seemed like it was well done. It seemed like it was tastefully done. So um I think that it was uncomfortable because it was, trying to realistically depict the what would be the experience of such a woman in such a time, you know? But I definitely feel like once I got into the movie, I was like, man, I don't know if I have the media literacy chops to even talk about this in a sensible way. There was definitely something with the relationship with her and Baines initially that felt rather rapey to me. So I was really caught off guard when it turned romantic. But I don't know. I mean, I don't know if I was misinterpreting that, you know. But there definitely was. He seemed to be like invading. Yeah. And I just, the whole like keys and everything, all that was really very uncomfortable. So I don't think Stockholm syndrome is actually even a real thing, Fox. I think it's pretty sure it's like a debunked. I didn't spell that right, but it's fine. It's disputed pop psychology stuff. Yeah. Yeah. I honestly do not really have any like psychological perspective on it. Because I just don't feel like I have the capability of like in any way judging that. But there was definitely some, it was just really, it was playing with uncomfortable concepts. One of the other things that really confused me, but these things felt real, I want to say. Despite the fact that they were confusing to me, I felt like they felt real anyway. Was things like the way that her daughter was sort of betraying her and or acting out, which I thought, I mean, like, it really pissed me off, but also it felt really realistic. And then there was the thing with Alistair where when he catches them, this sort of weird voyeur thing transpires. I think that the end of the movie, after the boat scene, makes it clear, like, they're living together. He made her a prosthetic finger. They're happy. I think that all clears it up. But it was shocking, and it does raise questions like, why is it that she noticed what was going to happen and she purposely kept her foot right there in place? Why? Yeah, I thought perhaps it must be that. But what she then, you get, that's the point where we get her inner voice again, which, by the way, I thought it was an incredible touch that her voice that we hear at the beginning and the end of the film is a child's voice. Because she didn't, when she stopped speaking was when she was a child. So that's her voice. And it never changes as it does for us, you know. But it is cleared up after. But she says specifically that her will chose life and that surprised her. And I guess what I took away from it all was it felt like a movie about how women in that time period, and particularly someone who is like Ada, who's essentially divergent from the norm. There's the whole like bird in a cage kind of thing. Like she just doesn't have control over her destiny. Or she has very little control over her destiny. And her piano represents her voice to her. And it's immediately taken from her. She's married off to someone she's never seen or heard of. And a lot of it seems like her trying to wrench back some kind of control over her own life. And having extremely limited or really no ability available to do so, really, most of the time. Now, of course, both of the men seemed pretty horrible to me as well. I'm not saying that either seemed fine. Baines at least seemed less horrible, but it was essentially like you've got this guy who's like has like a pianist fetish. The scene with him cleaning the piano completely nude was really something else. The most uncomfortable scene by far, or scenes really, are the basically everything from like Alistair with his sort of attempted rape in the woods thing, whatever the fuck. Just horrific. And then the punishment, that whole thing. I thought that he did far worse at first. I thought he cut off like all of her fingers, like between her thumb and pinky. Even a single finger is off the charts. So it's not like it's all that better. But nevertheless, like, that was insane scene, and the acting was incredible. Especially by Holly Hunter. That shot where she finally sinks down and kind of is leaning to the right there was insanely powerful and devastating. Also incredible acting by the young daughter, who must have been Anna, most likely. Yeah, she was pretty incredible in this film. So, suffice to say, it's not like a movie that you watch for fun. It's this is like, this is a movie that you watch to expand your palate, essentially. I have to say, I was also thinking a lot about Sam Neill saying that he doesn't think of himself as an actor. He doesn't think of himself as acting. Not in a crazy pretentious way, but that he just sort of does these things. And then watching a film like this, I'm just like, oh, that's crazy to say, buddy. Honestly, same. If like, this is just it. Well, what led us here would have potentially led me here as well. I mean, seriously, it's the same sort of, like, this is how I watch movies. Is I don't really watch tons of new stuff. Watching new stuff is pretty rare for me. I like to return to favorites. And then I like to go spelunking, basically. I tend to like to go back to kind of plumb the depths of, like, what other things did some of my favorite actors do. And that, I think, maybe could have led me here eventually. And like I said, the reason I stumbled upon it at all was that people were just passing around an interview of Sam Neill talking about stuff, and then he spoke very highly about his experience working on this film, and how he really held up Jane. I mean, I can probably just find him talking about it. Let's see if we can do that, so you know what I'm talking about. Sam Neill on the piano. Curious about this, but that's not the thing. Oh, this this stuff was weird. I didn't know that they did that stuff. Oh, I feel like the interview is more recent. I'm probably really going to struggle to ever find it. Damn, I just don't know. I don't know what that interview even looked like. Good night, Em. I hope you feel better. We could find out what the question was that shook Sam Neill. Oh no. No, no. What does that mean? I don't want to know. 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 Let's never find out. I don't think he was at all a piece of shit, so I don't know what that was about. I'm sure the context makes that fine. Yeah, I don't know. But he was speaking highly of his experience working with them in creating the piano. That's all. That's all I was looking for there. I'll never find it. It's fine. Yeah, probably twisting words for a clickbait title kind of thing. So yeah, definitely this one was less of a fun one, but I feel like it was one of those movies that's like kind of worth seeing one time. Just to experience it, just to experience the story. It's clear that the people who created it really cared really greatly about that story. I don't know how much we need to watch the trailer really, but let's find out. Let's see what the trailer for a movie like this would have been like. Oh god, it's so loud. Stop being so loud. Where's the volume? That's not volume. That's the volume. I did really love the piano music in this.
In search of a new life.
We can't leave the
She didn't come to a new land in search of a new life. She wasn't a fucking pilgrim. What the fuck? Trailer guy? What the hell?
Too few of us here to carry it now.
She came to a husband she had never met.
And with
Okay,
time,
that's
I
more
became
accurate.
affectionate.
And discovered a passion that would change her world forever. Holly Hunter, Harvey Keitel, Sam Neill, the piano. The critics say, so moving and original, it is a triumph. One of the most enchanting love stories ever filmed.
Really?
Erotic,
Ugh. Really?
mysterious,
That's what you had to say about it, Newsweek?
exquisite. Jane Campion is one of the most splendid filmmakers
What the
around.
fuck? Pretty sure that wasn't the objective. Damn, 1993 was crazy.
In a new world, passion has no limits.
Wait. What is the brief they handed this guy?
The piano, from acclaimed director Jane Campion.
But this is external Fox. Oh, let's see this real quick. I saw this sitting here. I'm curious.
Pleasure to be here tonight.
Oh my god.
To announce the names of these 5 wonderful performances. The nominees for Best Actress are Angela Bassett in What's Love Got to Do with It? Stockard Channing in 6 Degrees of Separation.
Who and what?
Holly Hunter in the piano. Emma Thompson in The Remains of the Day.
I've heard of Emma Thompson. Never heard of Remains of the
Deborah
Day.
Winger in Shadowlands.
No clue.
And the Oscar
I've heard of Angela Bassett.
goes to Holly Hunter.
Before this movie, I'd never heard of Holly Hunter. Oh, crazy. Anna's right there. Oh my God. That fucking guy. I can't remember his name. Oh no. Did you see that? Is that I did notice that the trailer said Miramax at the beginning. Oh my God, that's cursed. Holy shit. That's Weinstein right there, isn't it? Oh no. Horrific.
I am so of actresses, it just slays me. When I was 6 years old,
Oh yeah, her voice we
I
didn't
started,
hear in the whole thing.
pretending to play the piano on the window.
She sounds like Jodie Foster. She sounds like Jodie Foster in Silence of the Lambs.
The house where I grew up, and then after a while, my parents realized that I wasn't going to stop, so they got me a cardboard keyboard to play to see if that might, I would get tired of that, but I didn't, and so then they got me a piano. So for the next 10 years, they let me have piano lessons. So I need to thank Eileen Parrish, my first piano teacher, and I need to thank my parents for letting me have these lessons. And Jane Campion, I love you, I love you.
People didn't know whether to clap.
Thank you so much for giving me a character and an experience that was so difficult to say goodbye to, except that I don't have to say goodbye to it because it's everybody's now, and that is such a gift. And Michael Nyman, who really gave me a veritable instruction manual for a way into Ada McGrath by giving me the music that he gave me in the entire movie to experience. And Jan Chapman, our producer, for being so luminous and for giving the piano and all of us a place to flourish. Harvey and Bob Weinstein, you also break my heart with your uncensored passion.
No.
Support for this movie. And just thank you
No.
all so much for letting this movie in.
Oh, that's so crazy.
And thanks.
I mean, that's interesting. Unfortunately, when you go back to the 80s and 90s and early 2000s, you're going to be running into the Weinsteins. You just are. Yeah, historical romance. It's so weird that the trailer said erotic in the middle of it. It's crazy. Absolutely crazy. Let's see what other things. Oh my God, they tried to cast Sigourney Weaver. She was not interested. Jennifer Jason Leigh. Don't know you. Oh my God. 1 out of 5,000. Oh, her agent said she wasn't interested and never told her? Okay, well, Wikipedia is missing that detail. Well, I mean, it's sort of what agents are paid to do, is to be a filter. Yeah, it's sort of their job. But that doesn't necessarily mean that they get it right all the time. Reviews for the film were overwhelmingly positive. Roger Ebert wrote, "The piano is as peculiar and haunting as any film I've seen, and it is one of those rare movies that is not just about a story or some characters, but about a whole universe of feeling." I have to say, like, whenever I read, not every time, but often when I read what Ebert has to say about things, I really feel like this is somebody who really cared about the art of all of this. Doesn't mean he was correct about every fucking thing. There's definitely tons that Ebert got wrong, but like often I have an appreciation for the way that he writes about a film, and this is one of those times. I think that that's a good description of what's going on. Hal Hinson of the Washington Post called it an evocative, powerful, extraordinarily beautiful film. Don't know if I totally agreed there, but it is basically, as I said, like to me, it feels like it was a very well made film, but addresses some really uncomfortable topics. And I don't know, I guess just like sensitivities have changed or whatever, but like it definitely has a darker tone to me than it seems anybody was really feeling during the time of writing these reviews. Yeah, I mean, a good agent, you would hope. But I think there's a lot of people who are shit at their jobs, right? That's also just a fact. Uh, in his 2013 movie guide, Leonard Maltin gave the film 3.5 out of 4 stars, calling the film a haunting, unpredictable tale of love and sex told from a woman's point of view, and went on to say writer director Campion has fashioned a highly original fable, showing the tragedy and triumph erotic passion can bring to one's daily life. See, that's where you have lost me, brother. I really don't follow on that. It's like, how are you skipping over the part where it's all under duress? it's it's not like she was just frolicking through the fields and happened upon these fellows. Like, arranged marriage to start with. She's essentially owned by this guy who she doesn't know. Her piano immediately taken from her. And then she's coerced into the nearly the clutches of this sort of fetishist guy who's just so lonely and so fetish, who has seemingly some boundary and consent issues. And they do a bit of a tit for tat thing. Maybe not the best phrasing there. And then it develops into something, but all the leading into that is really not like a la-di-da erotic romantic story. It's not a rom-com. It's more of a period piece. Did I sugarcoat something there? I don't feel like I did. I don't know. It's just strange. But then again, I'm not sure that Oh, right. Yes. Thank you. You know, you're right. You are right, actually. But yeah, I'm not sure that we can trust the takes of men from 10 years ago, let alone 30 years ago. So that's probably got a lot to do with this. It's got a 90% on Rotten Tomatoes. Blah, 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 blah. People are really married to this fucking take, I guess. So bizarre. So strange. I feel comfortable thinking of it as a love story, a complicated love story that's not necessarily a straight through, like, happy thing. But, yeah. Hello.
You can go lay down.
Yeah.
I haven't been dropped yet, so if I pass out, please do dock me.
Aw.
Love you.
You're just going to pass out.
No, but I am too cold. I'm eating and drinking.
Love you too. Yeah. I think it's worth acknowledging that it is a true romance by the end, but it is, in getting there, I think it's also necessary to acknowledge the journey, which everybody talking about it doesn't seem to do, but whatever. Also, it seems like everybody talking about it is men. So that's probably got a lot to do with that. A lot of awards, a lot of award nominations, a lot of awards won. Oh my gosh. Holy. The score was incredible. Extremely just, I was really fascinated whenever she was playing the piano. And I loved all the different tunes. Don't like that. I didn't know that this was okay. Oh, okay, all right. Hmm. Yeah, I really thought it was her playing. I didn't even think about it. I didn't even question it because it was so just um natural. And they show her fully, you know, like you can see her and she's actually playing. Um and I really loved that. I thought that was fantastic. Lists of films considered the best. This apparently was one, and I had never heard of it. So I'm really glad to have experienced it. I'm glad we did this. Let us see what we can see on IMDb. Ooh. What other things has Holly Hunter done? I feel like I have like just no awareness of Holly Hunter at all. Well, apparently she's in some Star Trek shit. Starfleet Academy. Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. People like Succession. I haven't watched that. Is Starfleet Academy bad? I feel like Star Trek fans have been eating bad for a while. That's outside looking in. It seems like things have not been going great. Oh, is she? She's Mrs. Incredible? Interesting. That's cool. Yeah. Helen Parr. Elastigirl. Awesome. That's cool. Oh, she's in Oh Brother, Where Art Thou? I don't remember the character Penny, though. A lot of this I really don't. I'm not familiar with. The firm I'm familiar with. Tammy Hamphill, not familiar with. We're getting quite far back now in time. Yeah. Well, she's had a very. Oh wow, Raising Arizona. Hmm. Uh, she's had quite a history. Seems like things are a little later on, but you know. Strange New Worlds is great. What is Strange New Worlds? Is that some Star Trek shit? The only current Trek. What what's this? This is 2026? Or are you are you throwing shade? Oh, this doesn't exist? It was canned? What's all this shit? So this never happened? It's weird because nothing of this makes it seem like it doesn't exist. It's just here. Ugh. This looks like it sucks. Sorry. Just when I read the concept immediately, I was like, I don't think this seems bad. It happened. It was canceled after one season. Ah, okay. I see. I see. I see. It's hard to sift through the shade when you guys are talking about this stuff because I'm Star Trek nothing. I don't know fucking anything. I know who Spock is. I know what the Enterprise is. But that's it. I don't fucking know shit. But yeah, so that's interesting. We learned a little about Holly Hunter there. Harvey Keitel is one where I know the name, don't fucking know what he's in. But seeing him here, I recognize him more than I did in the piano, to be honest. Oh, fucking Reservoir Dogs. And Pulp Fiction. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay, all of this is going to be shit. It's funny with actors that you know that were like that mattered in the 90s and the early 2000s or anything like that. Anything this decade, you can just gloss over because it's going to be poop. It's going to be really, really, really bad. I love dogs. That doesn't really help much. Oh no. I mean, I know I know Reservoir Dogs and Pulp Fiction. We're really getting back in time here. Inglorious Bastards. Okay. Oh, he's uncredited. He's just an uncredited voice in there. Oh boy. Oh man, what is this? What is this? What is this? A television miniseries on the events leading up to the U.S. terrorist attacks on September 11th, 2001. What is this? Santa Claus? Who's that? They arrested Santa Claus? Did Santa Claus do 9/11? Who knows? Oh, he's a national treasure. I've never seen that. Shit's a meme I've never seen. Man, I've heard of Harvey Keitel, and I just have not fucking seen anything that he's in. Hardly. From Dusk Till Dawn, I've seen. So basically, the Tarantino stuff, I've seen him in those movies, and that's it. I've not seen any of the other films that he's been in. Oh. He was fine in the piano. I mean, piano. Just something about that really got me. Let's move on. Let's take a look at the trivia and see what kind of trivia there could possibly be here. Yup. Oh wow. She didn't watch the movie until way later. The first woman to win the prestigious Palme d'Or. I don't know. Though she was unable to receive the award in person because she was due to give birth. Oh. Hmm. Wait a minute. Huh? Wait, was Anna deaf? I mean, if so, then her performance is insane. No. Okay, well then what does this mean? How is Holly Hunter being a British sign language interpreter for Anna? I don't know, I'm just confused. Oh. Oh my god. What the fuck? That's fucking crazy. Huh. Cinematographer Stuart Dryburgh was the only man to receive an Oscar nomination for his work in the film. All the other 7 nominations were given to women. And there they are, a rare feat. Given that the sex scenes weren't gratuitous, Holly Hunter had no qualms about appearing nude. We were all really unhesitating, me, Harvey, and Jane. We talked about it a lot and joked about it a lot. Hmm. Here we get that whole story. Dame Jane Campion originally wanted Sigourney Weaver to play the role of Ada and approached Weaver's agent Steve Dontanville about the project. However, Weaver had previously informed Dontanville that she wasn't looking to take on new work for a while, and she wanted more time to be with her young daughter, so he turned down the offer without informing Weaver that it had been made. Instead, he asked Campion to consider another of his clients, Holly Hunter. Later, when Campion was promoting the film, she gave an interview in which she said she originally wanted to find a Sigourney Weaver type to play Ada. Weaver read this and was confused about why she had not been asked, given that she was, as she later expressed in an interview, the original Sigourney Weaver type. I love her. Only then she discovered, after speaking with Dontanville, that he had declined Campion's approach without telling her about it. Weaver said she got mad at him for this and gave him such a hard time, as she would have loved to play the character. However, Weaver also praised Hunter's performance in that role, and the two of them would later act together in the film Copycat. Yeah, she asked him not to. He did what he was told. It's basically what the story is. Yes, Dav. The alternative situation that you are implying could have existed is horrifying. What? According to Courtney Love, her husband Kurt Cobain saw this movie with a couple of friends only one day before he committed suicide, making it very likely it was the last film he ever saw. Look at this. Well, he was murdered anyway. Just kidding. I don't care. I don't know anything about anything. This film shares a rare characteristic of being the source of a major piece of music in the concert hall, one shared only with Scott of the Antarctic, which was turned into Sinfonia Antarctica 1953 by the film's composer Ralph Vaughan Williams. In several films, Another Dawn, Juarez, Anthony Adverse, and The Prince of the Pauper, with scores by Eric Korngold, which were used in his violin concerto, premiered by Joshua Heifetz in 1947. Michael Nyman turned the score into the piano concerto. It is one movement concerto in 4 phases, lasting around 32 minutes. It was premiered by Catherine Stott, the Royal Liverpool Philharmonic Orchestra, and conducted by Jean-Claude Camdessus. Premiered in September 1993 at the Festival de Lille in northern France. This concerto has been recorded several times. The original piano music was written by Nyman for Holly Hunter to play. Nyman stated that the principal goals of this reconsideration were to create a more coherent structure for the musical material, to elaborate upon the texture for full orchestra. The original was for saxophone and string orchestra, and to make the piano part more virtuoso. There's also a version for 2 pianos and orchestra commissioned by the Lebec sisters. Yeah. Well, I mean, I guess not totally original. It seems it seems there was some lineage. Cool. Well, suffice to say, I definitely found the film to be a work of art, but it was definitely an uncomfortable piece. This poster is crazy. By the way, I didn't notice this. This is what I mean by changing the sort of frame by which you perceive a work. This is not the poster that I saw. The poster I saw was whatever the fuck here on Wikipedia, where she looks like this. You know, this is a very different look, you know, compared to that. So, it's sort of, yeah, it sort of changes things a little. But nevertheless, glad to have watched it. I probably won't ever watch it again, but I do think that it was an extremely well-made film, and I enjoyed it despite the fact that it was highly uncomfortable at points. And I definitely have some quibbles with people's takes on what the exact story was that they experienced here, or that we all experienced here. I also had it open in Rotten Tomatoes. I'm not sure what we really, if there's anything to derive from Rotten Tomatoes. Probably not much. We kind of haven't been doing this one all that much. Oh my god, I don't want to fill out an opt-out form. Whatever people have to say about this film's got to be horrific, right? There's no way it's not nightmarish. How do you get even to oh my god, there's that many ratings on that? That's crazy. People are just like obsessed with diving straight into that. I guess I just was really experiencing something totally different. This person hates the child. She is Scottish. Is she not? Am I crazy? She's Scottish? Am I nuts? Let's see here. Oh, all right. Okay. She's not Scottish. For some reason, I thought she was. Okay, all right. A dull and disturbing period drama that sucks the joy out of the movie viewing experience. One of the worst movies I've ever suffered through. Holy. For 3.5 stars out of 5, a movie that very conveniently promotes infidelity got rewarded at the Oscars for its performances, parentheses great, and its silly and shameless screenplay. What? Huh? I don't even really. Did you like it? You seemed like you liked it. Fascinating use of literacy. Yeah. Truly, truly bizarre. We got another hater. Yeah, I mean, you are just a hater. You're just a hater. I don't think it was all that slow, personally. Oh man, before I get into the review, I must clarify this is not even taking into account the offensive, inaccurate portrayal of the Maori people, which could have its own essay. The film leaves me so confused trying to make sense of it all. Well, at least this person recognizes that there's something kind of something not correct about what's going on there. The other two male leads. I don't think that the actors did anything wrong. Yeah, it is messed up. Yeah. You still gave it 3 stars. While I was watching the film, I was thinking that this is the worst movie I've ever seen, romanticizing sexual assault and abuse. However, perhaps the moments that romanticize it are really trying to get the audience into the mind of Ada, because there are certainly scenes that shame it as well. Just because the story is incredibly twisted doesn't mean it isn't a plausible one. That's basically what I'm saying. And that it isn't a story that deserves to be told. People fall in love with their abusers every day. However, I don't know how to feel about their portrayal of the assault and abuse. Overall, I'm so confused about this film, which I suppose is probably the point. Well, I mean, I applaud this reviewer for thinking about some stuff. It's the only one that seems to have, I mean, out of all the stuff we've seen, that's kind of like touched on to how uncomfortable even what was ostensibly supposed to be the positive relationship was. Yeah. I don't know enough to know the accuracy of this, or whether or not the portrayal was good. Omni said that the portrayal was and the representation was good from Omni's perspective, and yeah, and Omni didn't find it to be offensive, but I am far from anything to do with Maori, and I know really very little. So I would guess that it's because in this particular story, they are some of them are portrayed as being essentially like kind of illiterate and almost played off for like they're comedic dum-dums. Like there's the scene during the play where they attack the play because they just don't understand that it's a play. Or I don't remember what it was with the key. After Flora brings the key to what's his name? Oh, the one guy was like he had it and he was hitting it with his finger. And he was going, he doesn't sing anymore. And it's like, okay, so they are kind of continually portraying them as like they're too dumb to understand how anything works. They don't understand what a piano is, why it makes those sounds. They think the keys make the sounds. There was a little bit of that going on. So maybe that's what made this person feel this way. I really don't know. But it wasn't all of them. So I think they were just, I don't know. It seemed to me like they were trying to portray some people who were not necessarily um, highly educated. I also thought that was weird, and I didn't really understand what the deal was with that. And it also felt, I have to say, rather disconnected from the rest of the film. It didn't seem like like a very necessary scene, but it's whatever. It's fine. I think we have probably. Well, this is not Event Horizon. I must have forgot to switch this over. We probably spent enough time chatting about the piano. Suffice to say, I thought it was worth watching. And I did think it was a good film. It just definitely has some uncomfortable stuff going on. And definitely a rough watch in a number of places. Time to shut the lid. Yeah. Hello, Wikipedia. Event Horizon. Yes. Zip. So Event Horizon is a very, very, very different film. Very different. This one is a personal fave of mine. It's a cool horror, space sci-fi-ish film that I just really, really love.
Oh no.
It's certainly not perfect by any means. It's pretty goofy in a lot of ways, and definitely feels dated. There's nothing like when you get to the credits of this movie and you get that. What is that? Was that like a Chemical Brothers song or whatever the fuck that kicks in? You just like, holy shit! This is definitely between 1996 and 1999. Fucking ridiculous. But nevertheless, I really enjoy this film. Oh no, that's terrible news, Legend. Why would you say this? But yeah. Definitely an odd pairing for the piano. What I like about Event Horizon is I think Sam Neill obviously is fantastic. Actually, I really like all the actors' performances in this film. Lawrence Fishburne. Oh, is that funky shit? It's I don't know my prodigy. Malfoy is in it? What? Huh? Oh. God, you fucking Harry Potter brain people. You mean whoever in the fuck? He's not even considered starring. where where are you? Jason Isaacs, who is a great actor who's been in many things other than the fucking Potter films. Uh yeah, I really like Jason Isaacs. This is another one of those actors where they have to bust out the filmography to a whole other page because it's just so voluminous. The Tall Guy, 1989. Amazing. Let's see. Event Horizon was actually quite early on in his career. You know what? I was too cruel because it's looking like Harry Potter is gonna be surprisingly early on in Jason's career. Although Armageddon is pretty big, but did he have a starring role? I don't know. Soldier. He was. I don't think he was particularly important in Soldier. This is a film I like to return to now and again. By the way, it's a kind of a weird little sci-fi throwaway, but it's a Kurt Russell. If you like Kurt Russell. It's about a dude that's like a child soldier clone. He's raised from like he's cloned and raised to be a soldier, and shit happens. He ends up marooned. It's honestly we should enjoyers committee it because I think I think a lot of you would actually enjoy this film. It's an interesting movie. I don't know that. Armageddon. I don't really remember Armageddon. I think I've seen it one time. I don't know Dragonheart. None of this. So really, Black Hawk Down, I do know. Oh, yeah, these Resident Evil movies. Unnamed Doctor, voice uncredited. That's crazy. But yeah. So, almost just like in the first decade of his career, and then essentially it would have been pretty dominant from there on with the 1 million Potter films. So I apologize. You guys are right, essentially, to immediately leap to Malfoy as your touchstone for Isaacs. For some reason, I thought he was older and more accomplished. It's weird. I guess he just has something like he has that face where it just feels like, oh yeah, this guy is Hollywood, or whatever. And actually, he's kind of newer in the space, relatively. I mean, this is he does absolutely not look like Jude Law to you or anybody. What in the world are you saying with your hands? Okay, yeah, I guess there's kind of something there, maybe. Maybe a little. Maybe a teensy. No, I was right. No, I shouldn't have. Yeah, I started to give in. I'm not giving up any ground. You're wrong. Also, no, why are you so old now? Stop it. Stop doing that. Go back. Go back. Please go back. Damn, I haven't seen him looking older. I mean, he looks good. He doesn't look like he's the Crypt Keeper or anything, but most of the stuff I know Jude Law is like this, his youthful kind of spry Jude Law. I know, the fucking passage of time. Sucks. Anyway, Jason Isaacs is really great. And I guess Event Horizon was my introduction to Jason Isaacs. And I love his role in this movie. He's great. I love how he's the one that's interpreting the Latin. Which I've forgotten now what it was. I recall the Tute Me Ex Inferis, but I forget what the initial, what was it? Liberate Me. Yeah. Save me. And then the revisiting of it, and he hears it as Liberate tutte me ex inferis. It's just so cool. I loved that. It's silly. It's stupid. It's Doom. This movie is Doom. Frankly. How did we end up in a tab? How did we end up in a different window? This always happens to me. But yeah, the movie is Doom, basically. That's the story. It's a better Doom movie than the Doom movie by a lot. One of my favorite shots. No, it's the thing is, Veritrix, is that the reason I sort of disagree is that it is not really clear what the fuck is up. I'm not saying that it's wrong to say that it's demons. I'm saying it's ambiguous as to what in the fuck it is exactly that is happening. Is it like a collective delusion? Is it that the ship is alive now? Because for instance, Dr. Weir is physically ejected from the ship and then reappears inside the ship. And it makes me wonder, are these the hallucinations?
There's another way to crank it.
If I thank you for the gift sub to Bowser Official. Are these the hallucinations that the people are experiencing inside the ship, like while they're inside it? Or are these manifestations real, or anything? So that's all I was saying with that. I'm not, it's you could take it as demons, because there's a lot of stuff that is really great in terms of that portrayal. I love the hell version of Dr. Weir, where he's just covered top to bottom with grill marks from Chili's. Very good. But one of my favorite shots is the sort of lightning reveal of the inner walls being pasted with the the guts. It's so good. Before they know, just that little reveal for us was really lovely. And then it all just really ties together really well, in my opinion. Now again, it's definitely also a very goofy film. If you like any sort of an accurate portrayal, or anywhere near to an accurate portrayal of spacecraft, spacefaring vehicles, space travel, sorry, this is not the film for you. It's very much just doing whatever is necessary to, kind of move the plot along. That kind of thing. I think if you just put it out of your mind, it's very watchable and nice. Yes, I see right here that was mentioned. Event Horizon Dark Descent. I had not heard of this until I just noticed it when we loaded up the Wikipedia page here. So apparently there's another follow-up as well, which is very interesting. I have no idea what these will be like, but I'm curious to find out. I don't know. I don't know. And I'm not a Warhammer head, so I extra don't know. uh yeah. So yeah, this is a cult film. It was a financial failure. It did well at home. And I've always liked it a lot. Well, but we don't experience whatever happens in the, which by the way, I think that the thing where Dr. Weir explains, bringing the 2 points in space together and then putting the pencil through or whatever, I feel like that's an iconic scene. But we don't know what actually happens. We are only experiencing in this film the side effects, the after effects, the results. That's it. Excuse me, Dr. Weir says. Okay, so he describes it as a dimension of pure chaos. All right, okay, all right. Fucking Warhammer people. Jesus. uh, is something going wrong with my audio? Pop and locking. Okay. Hopefully, yeah. Hopefully it was just Twitch like catching up or something. I haven't dropped any frames. Everything otherwise looks normal. So anywho, there's so much stuff that I love about this film. I love the performances of course, Sam Neill, but also Lawrence Fishburne and Kathleen was incredible. Wait, oh yeah. Yes, both of these characters were fantastic. They did incredible work. So I just liked all the characters as well as the ones not listed as starring. Justin, Ensign Justin, I thought was that guy did an incredible job. Baby Bear, yep. I'm just checking to make sure that it says is for everybody. Well, unfortunately, except for Sam. Oh yeah, this guy. He was really great. Yeah, everybody in this film is really, really fantastic. Dude, Lawrence Fishburne, you need to get into. He has done incredible work. The Matrix was obviously that was the thing that made him, an all-timer, a star for the ages. But I mean, Lawrence Fishburne has the credentials. Absolutely a one of the greatest of all time actor. Yeah, so like that's the stuff where there's some goofiness, 100%. If the Lewis and Clark is an insane spaceship design. Why does his chair even need to fly around? What is up with that? Um, why is it? What was the first thing? Something happened that made the entire ship just sparks. Now, I will say the shot is incredible where I think Justin is diving across the screen while the cabin explodes into trillions of sparks, just a universe of stars. But also, why? Why would that happen? Why does your ship randomly catch on fire at the drop of a hat? Anything happens at all, it just busts into flames in random locations. But that was really common also. That's not just this film. That's a lot of it's just like to have interesting things happening on screen, I think. And then like the sort of like when they go to where the airlock is for the Lewis and Clark, where they have the umbilical, what is that keyhole shaped floor piece that goes down, and why would you have that? What is that? It's the whole I, I guess it's cool, but it to me it felt like it didn't really make mechanical sense because it wasn't like it just wasn't providing anything of use. It looked cool, yeah. Um, there's a lot of stuff that was like that. But I wasn't really bothered by any of it because aesthetically I enjoyed looking at it all. That's the thing I was actually going to say about both the Lewis and Clark and the Event Horizon is how aesthetically interesting it is. The Event Horizon itself is like kind of it's almost like it's a joke in a way because the let me dig up some images, but it's like it's designed for horror. It was built for hell. You know what I mean? It looks like a horror ship the whole time. uh, yeah, I mean, look at this shit. Look at this fucking pinhead fucking looking shit. That's Lewis and Clark. Yeah. Why the flying seat? I don't really get that. World's worst table. Worst table I've ever seen. Can we have the most useless table possible? This shit. I thought this looked absolutely fucking fantastic. Really great. Don't know what that is. That's somebody's concept art. What, what is this stuff? We're getting some strange stuff. Here we go. Look at this. This is the medical and also morgue, by the way. And what a morgue. Why so many? What's with all the bodies? Why do you need so many places for bodies? Crazy shit. The architecture of the ship is, and by the way, to be clear, I love it. I love it. But boy, this is some Quake 3 style spaceship design that doesn't really make a ton of sense. And looks like horror stuff to me. You know, what is this shit? Why? What is this? Why do they have a big tube of green? They don't talk about it, but it is there so that later it can fill with blood. The tunnel ducts with the PCB walls. But this shit looks fucking cool. I mean, I love the pods, the bays, or whatever, the cryopods in the back there, the way that those look. Just really nice. This is again some other random shit, but it really looks like it probably this is probably here because whoever made this probably cited Event Horizon as inspiration. I'm guessing. Oh, this fucking shit that was like, what was it? It was like it needs you have to reset the magnetic field. What is this? How does this do that? What is this science? Absolutely don't care if it's true or not. But the explanation absolutely felt like total bullshit. It looks awesome. It looks awesome, and that's what matters. This didn't have anything to do with gravity. This is just, or well, I guess I mean magnetic fields and yada yada. Oh, the circuit boards. This fucking insane shit. So many circuit boards running this thing that you have to crawl through a labyrinth built out of entirely circuit boards is awesome. It's so cool. This is like the brain of the Event Horizon. Absolutely nightmarish, incredible. I love it. You didn't notice? You didn't notice? That's the whole reason he goes in here is to go and get a particular one and fix it. Do some. He has like a little soldering tool he pulls out too, which is great. He pulls a chip right there on the spot. What else have we got here? there's him in his weird little floating chair. I would like to. This is Alien. Thank you very much. I'd like to see more of the bridge. This crazy fucking tunnel. This huge. What is the purpose of this? This so long, empty tunnel between the bridge and the whatever. The engine, the gravity well engine thing. Horror. That's the answer. Just horror. Yeah, it was just so that there would be some place to put the explosives. And that's the great thing about this film is I could yap about like how silly all this stuff is all day, and I also don't care because it doesn't do the film any harm. All of it actually just makes the film better. Look at this. What is madness? Why? What are these? These medical beds. They're crazy. It's really good stuff. I love Event Horizon very, 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 very much. Very much. Oh God, this shot. This shot is so good. Isn't it? I loved this shot so much. I think this is somebody's creation. It seems to be. This is not Event Horizon. I don't know what this is. Apparently, this is an episode from something. Yeah. End of the day, I'm obviously a big fan of Event Horizon. What can I say? I really like the film. With all of its warts and flaws and mistakes and silly stuff, I love it. And I always enjoy a rewatch. Liberate tutime ex inferis. That shit's just cool as hell. It's one of the only successful uses of Latin to make something cooler ever in history. Yes. After Mortal Kombat was a commercial success. I knew I forgot something about Paul Anderson. In the United States, English director Paul Anderson was inundated with screenplay offers. Really? 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 That's how this sentence goes? This sentence goes like that? That's crazy. Really? Are you kidding? That's wild. All right. As well as the opportunity to direct the Mortal Kombat sequel, Mortal Kombat Annihilation, and the upcoming X-Men, he turned down the offers in favor of making an R-rated horror film, wanting to shift away from making another PG-13 film. Paramount Pictures sent him Philip Eisner's original script for Event Horizon, which they had been trying to develop with producers Lawrence Gordon and Lloyd Levin. According to Eisner, he first pitched its concept to Gordon as a haunted house story in space, which the producer thought had potential. Luckily, said Eisner, he liked the idea enough to trust me to do it. Insane. Paul Anderson did Mortal Kombat. It was commercially successful, inundated with screenplay offers, turned them all down to do Event Horizon, which was a commercial and critical failure. What? Wait. Shut up, Omni. Get the fuck out of here. This is more they were more connected than we ever knew. Oh my God. Whomst. Oh my God. That's wild. This is crazy. This is crazy. Well, wait, is this the screenplay that Solid Snake worked on? By the way, what the fuck is his name? Yeah, David Hayter. Oh, what a fun small world. Oh, well, there you go, folks. Eisner acknowledged that Warhammer 40,000 Warhammer 40,000 influenced the story. In the setting of Warhammer, spaceships travel the galaxy by passing through the warp, a parallel dimension where faster than light travel is possible, conceptually similar to hyperspace in Star Wars, but which is also inhabited by evil spirits that can infiltrate the ship and possess the crew if said ship is not properly shielded. That's awesome. And so it's mutual then. Philip Eisner and Warhammer's 40,000 fans are friends. Excuse me. I'm just yawning. Jolie Richardson called the experience of working on the film cursed. As Anderson explained, directors usually have a standard 10-week editing period to produce a film's first cut, as guaranteed by the Directors Guild of America. I can already see where this is going. However, due to the short production schedule, the rapidly approaching release date, and the fact that the principal photography had not finished, Anderson agreed to a 6-week editing period and promised to deliver the film by August 1997, as Paramount wanted a hit film before Titanic's planned September release date. When the main unit wrapped, Anderson was supposed to start editing the film, but he had 2 weeks of shooting left with the second unit, shortening post-production to just 4 weeks, during which only a rough cut could be assembled. He noted that at 2 hours and 10 minutes, it was overly long, with weak direction and acting that could have used another editing pass, unfinished special effects, and a poor sound mix. In test screenings, the cut was poorly received. There were complaints about the extreme gore, and Anderson and producer Jeremy Bolt claimed that some members of the test audience fainted. Paramount executives, who had stopped watching the dailies before any of the gore was shot and were seeing the complete film for the first time along with the audience, were similarly shocked by how gruesome it was and demanded a shorter runtime with less gore. They also felt Anderson was besmirching Star Trek. What? How? How? In what way? What do you mean? Anderson agreed that while his first cut was too long, Paramount forced him to make one that was instead too short, and that the film would benefit by the restoration of around 10 minutes of footage, including some of the deleted gore. Ah, yes. Now there's some legend stuff here. When the initial DVD release became a surprise hit, the studio and Anderson became interested in assembling a director's cut, but found that the excised footage had not been carefully stored and much of it had gone missing. The director's cut was abandoned, and instead a special edition 2 DVD set was released, featuring one deleted scene, 2 extended scenes, and a few shots of deleted material in the included making of featurette. The footage is of video quality. Known deleted scenes include a meeting scene between Weir and people in charge of the mission, in which they discuss Event Horizon, some dialogue of which remained present in the theatrical trailer. More backstory for Cooper and Justin, including a stronger explanation for Justin entering the black hole. A deleted backstory of the relationship between Stark and Miller. Additional scenes explaining what the gateway to hell/black hole is. Miller finding a tooth floating in Event Horizon. A longer version of the scene where Peters hallucinates that her son's mangled legs are covered in maggots. A scene where Weir hallucinates that Justin turns into his wife, Claire. A bloodier version of Weir's wife, Claire's suicide. A longer version of the scene where Miller finds DJ's vivisected body with his intestines on the table. And a longer version of the visions from hell scene during Miller's final fight with Weir, with more shots of Event Horizon's crew being tortured. Well, that all sounds awesome. It was reduced unit footage. I think the studio never bothered watching it because they thought it was inserts and buttons being pressed or something. But what it all was actually all of the hell footage, inspired by Bosch and Bruegel. So there was a beauty to it, even though it was very disturbing. Paul W.S. Anderson. Damn. Man. I normally don't really care about a lot of this sort of stuff, but this one is one that I do. The bloody orgy video was also longer. As Anderson was sometimes too busy filming other scenes, second unit director Vadim Jean filmed some parts of it. Real-life amputees were used for special effects scenes where Event Horizon crew members were mutilated, and pornographic film actors were hired to make the sex and rape scenes more realistic and graphic. The film's ending was a combination of 2 unused alternate endings. One did not have a jump scare at the end when the last 2 survivors were found by another rescue crew, and Stark hallucinates that she sees Weir, although there was a similar version of the scene included in this ending where she hears screams of the Event Horizon crew and screams before Cooper wakes her. This was the film's original ending in the shooting script. The second ending had Miller fighting with the burned man from his visions at the core instead of with Weir, but this was changed due to the negative test screening. It really does. If normally I don't think it's usually, it doesn't seem like it's as consequential as people will make stuff like that out to be. But in this case, it really seems genuine. Like Paul Anderson seems to be very clearly stating like, oh yeah, no, there was so much more film and it's gone. Which just sucks to hear. In an Event Horizon Q&A in 2011, Anderson was asked when extra footage would be made available. Never, he said, explaining that much of it was gone forever. However, in a 2012 interview, he announced that producer Lloyd Levin had found a VHS tape with his original rough cut. He said that after finishing Resident Evil Retribution, he planned to watch the recovered footage for the first time since assembling the film. In a January 2017 interview, he reiterated that a director's cut would never be released as the footage no longer existed. Asked about the VHS tape, he said neither he nor Levin had seen it yet, as Levin had moved to Spain. However, he was still excited about watching it at some point. God, did he fucking ever? Come on. What the hell? So it made money like shit. Reviews like shit. Wow, audiences give it a D+. That's crazy to me. Ebert gave it a 2 out of 4, commending its atmosphere and noting the opening portion as particularly well crafted. However, he felt it never managed to become the intense, thought-provoking experience it wanted to be. Guess that's fair. But fuck you, I like it. Legacy and reevaluation. In the years since its release, Event Horizon has developed a cult following and has been referenced in other works of popular culture. In 2022, retrospectives for the 20th anniversary of its release, IGN noted its impact on other media such as Dead Space video game series, and Rotten Tomatoes wrote that its unforgettable imagery, standout cast, and escalating thrills have made it a celebrated cult classic for horror aficionados. Total Film said the film has been cemented in pop culture history as both a cult classic and vital addition to the sci-fi horror subgenre. Collider called it a grand, ambitious vision that tries to marry elements from the Alien films, the first half hour or so hews very closely to Aliens, with spiritual depth. It doesn't quite pull all of it together, but where the pieces do fit, work better than expected. A film aiming for A+ that is content with its B grade. So yes, Event Horizon is indeed worthy of its reevaluation. Forbes described it as Anderson's nightmarish epic, while Fangoria's Scott Wampler said that this was Anderson's best film. Of the film's reevaluation, Anderson said, "It's finally got the reaction now that I was hoping it would get 25 years ago." Wow. Wouch. In 2024, Variety named Event Horizon as the 94th best horror film of all time. The scene in the film where Weir illustrates how wormholes work with a pen and paper was replicated in Christopher Nolan's Interstellar in 2014. Commotion arose online in 2020 among fans praising Sam Neill's influence on the costume design of the Australian astronaut whom he portrayed. In the film, the Australian flag patch worn by the astronaut features the Australian Aboriginal flag instead of the Union Jack as its canton. This had been Neill's suggestion. Neill thought that the flag might have been changed by 2047, the year in which the film was set. What was the commotion? This didn't really explain the commotion, but I guess they're just saying there was commotion and not what it was. There was a novelization. Apparently there's some stuff happening. Oh my gosh, they're doing a book about the making of Event Horizon? The book includes previously unseen archival material and interviews with the cast and crew, as well as an introduction written by Paul W.S. Anderson himself. It's coming in 1 month, exactly, from now. Oh, okay. So Event Horizon Dark Descent was apparently successful. The series implied that the demonic entity behind the incident of Event Horizon is named Paimon. Great, thanks. After the success of this prequel series, a sequel comic book titled Event Horizon Inferno was announced, set 200 years after the film. Interesting. Potential films. In December 2011, Anderson and Bolt stated that there have been ongoing discussions to explore additional movies that would expand the Event Horizon story in the form of a prequel and a sequel. Potential stories to be developed include following the first crew aboard the Event Horizon. I mean, this is fucking old, so this is never happening, of course. And their mission that led to their disappearance for 7 years, as well as a continuation film detailing the events that followed the rescue of Lieutenant M.L. Stark, T.F. Cooper, and Ensign Baby Bear Justin. By October 2020, however, after years of no development, Anderson stated that he had not returned to the property in any continuation because he did not want to take away from the experience of the original film. Television series. In August 2019, a television series based on the film was reported to be in development by Paramount Television and Amazon Studios. Adam Wingard will direct the series, in addition to serving as executive producer alongside Larry Gordon, Lloyd Levin, and Jeremy Platt, who previously held producer roles in the original feature film. In March 2024, Wingard provided a brief update stating, "It's definitely in the works. I've just been in Godzilla land for so long. I wouldn't say that there's definitive traction in terms of moving it forward, but we have a fucking amazing script. Once this movie's over, it's just about refocusing my attention towards getting that set up." In March of 2024. Interesting. I don't know how I feel about a potential television series or what that would even be. Would they be remaking the film? I don't know. Yeah, some interesting stuff there. Let's take a look at the trailer situation. I guess we should listen for stuff that's been some of the dialogue that apparently was cut from the film but remains in the trailer.
At 0300 this morning, TDRS picked up an automated navigation beacon broadcasting a 2-minute interval.
Oh, this is that.
Neptune orbit.
This is incredible. It's the Event Horizon. She's come back.
God, Sam Neill.
Horizon is the culmination of a secret government
Just great.
project to create a spacecraft capable of faster than light flight. Ship doesn't really go faster than light. What it does is it creates a dimensional gateway that allows it to jump instantaneously.
God, my right ear is getting the voices, my left ear is getting the music. Beautiful.
Where's she been for the last 7 years, Doctor?
That's what we're here to find out.
After 7 years in deep space,
18 people on board this ship when it disappeared. I want them all accounted for.
Opening outer door.
it came back abandoned.
Any crew?
Negative. This place is a tomb.
But it didn't come back alone.
This ship has been beyond the boundaries of our universe. Who knows where it's been? And what it's brought back with it.
The ship is reacting to us and the reactions are getting stronger.
I loved her character, by the way. And I love that her character survives.
Such one thing to show you.
Oh my God! It knows my secrets. It knows my fears.
Vacate. I want off this ship.
I can't leave. She won't let you. God help us.
So good. It's so good. I find it crazy that it was so hated. I think that was a great trailer. Weirdly, it made me want to watch the movie again, even though I just watched it. It's great. I've always really enjoyed Event Horizon. These are just screenshots from the film, right? I don't know. I guess that was the red carpet event. Anyway, definitely personal favorite of mine. I think it's a great watch. I think they pull off the horror stuff fantastically. Dad has a fun fact. Hit us. It was filmed at Pinewood Studios, the same place Taskmaster has been filmed for like 80% of its life. That is awesome. That's great. At around 5 minutes, the shot where Sir Sam Neill stares out of a window, which then pulls back to reveal that he's on the deck of a space station orbiting Earth, took the digital special effects house Cinesite 10 weeks to achieve. The shot lasts for 45 seconds and took nearly a third of the film's visual effects budget because it was filmed using separate scale models of different size that had to match up perfectly. Director Paul W.S. Anderson said that the shot had to be redone over 20 times before he was satisfied with it, and half-jokingly claimed that the man working on it had to take a year-long sabbatical afterwards to recuperate. Insane. These days, we'd shit out a shot like that in one day. We already basically read all that. Huh? Director Paul W.S. Anderson said that the movie's cult status was predicted to him years before by Kurt Russell, Event Horizon fan. Anderson, he also did Soldier. Anderson screened Event Horizon before they started work on Soldier. And Russell said, forget about what this movie's doing now. In 15 years' time, this is going to be the movie you're glad you made. That's crazy, dude. We have to watch Soldier. We absolutely have to watch Soldier. Yep. Add it to the list. I wonder if Soldier did worse. It probably, unfortunately, did. Can I spell? No. Soldier. Film. Soldiers, not the Soldier. So yeah, this one. Let's see. Oh no! Oh no! It was the same budget as Event Horizon, and it was way worse. way worse. Really bad. Really not good. Very bad. Oh no. I like it. Maybe I just have terrible taste. I could just be an idiot. I think it's good though. I think it's a fun little film. Look at this.
He was programmed from birth to be part of the most invincible army in history. But like all scientific advancements,
They're practically manufactured using DNA profiles.
he was destined to become obsolete.
More endurance, better hand-eye. It's a whole different standard.
What do we do with him?
Waste disposal. His training had prepared him for anything except this. Now, on a remote planet, a community of outcasts faces extermination.
I want that planet secured by 0600. What about opposition? They will be officially classified.
Jason Isaacs, Gary Busey.
Find weapons and prepare to fight.
You have to organize this.
For this soldier, it may be too late to feel human.
How do you know they'll be back?
Because they're soldiers like me.
But it's never too late to be a hero.
I'm going to kill them all.
Kurt Russell.
White Zombie.
Soldier.
Crazy. Yeah, I think I mean it's definitely a kind of a weird movie. But I have a place in my heart for it. I think you guys could too. If you haven't seen it, have any of you seen this film? Soldier. No. I'm a guess very, very few of you have. Okay, but like a handful, some of you. Yeah, it's definitely a movie they would show on Sci-Fi. In a weird way, it kind of has a lot in common with Stargate. In a weird way, very weird way. it's extremely distant. All right, I don't want to oversell that, but like Kurt Russell, a village of less technologically capable people in a remote location. It's not the same at all. But it has a few tastes you might recognize. Anyway, this is just crazy to me. That's so crazy. And Kurt Russell was exactly right. The official name of the gateway machine in the script was the Third Containment. I like that. What is that? That's crazy. But it is informally called the gravity drive in the film. The room it stands in being the second containment, and the corridor leading to them the first. That's sick. It was originally described as a smooth and featureless black orb, 10 meters, nearly 33 feet in diameter, suspended in midair between large rotating mechanical arms. It also was said to contain a stable black hole within it at all times, which the ship used as a power source, as opposed to briefly creating a temporary one. Paul W.S. Anderson decided to redesign it to involve interlocking rings as an homage to the puzzle box in Hellraiser, which served as an inspiration. Oh, clearly, Dr. Weir basically turns into Pinhead. The spikes on the curved walls were originally supposed to extend inwards and connect with the machine each time the drive activated. However, at the end of production, no more time and budget were left to create this as a visual effect. We were robbed, folks. We were robbed of the event horizon that we truly deserved. The visions from hell and the ship's video log were inspired by works from 16th century Renaissance painters Hieronymus Bosch and Pieter Bruegel, which director Paul W.S. Anderson saw while he was touring art galleries with his production designer. Anderson was fascinated by these paintings as the makers clearly believed in the reality of hell as the complete antithesis of heaven, and the images they created were terrifying and beautiful at the same time. He was also inspired by the macabre beauty of Joel Peter Witkin's photos, which featured deformed or dissected people. Anderson said that these scenes were filmed at the end of production with a smaller unit. Studio executives had only attended some of the early days of filming and were satisfied with what they saw, so they probably never bothered to screen the other footage beforehand, thinking they were just insert shots. He stated that when the executives saw the screening of a rough edit, They were very shocked, and some even fainted. This was the studio that made Star Trek, so I think they kind of thought that it was like Star Trek again, but with a bit more violence or something. I don't think they were really expecting what they got. Ironically, Paramount would later reuse a brief shot of the eyeless corpse in the Star Trek Voyager episode Random Thoughts. What the fuck? Huh. Well, that's very interesting. Did Paul W.S. Anderson direct a commercial for Doom 3? Let's find out. Paul Anderson, Doom 3 commercial. You are right. There's a whole interview here. But how can we find the commercial? There's also a whole thing with Trent Reznor in Doom 3. But we're veering off. Paul Anderson, Doom 3. Commercial. Actually, I enjoy Doom 3 a lot. Would it be this? Mattress Man commercial by Paul Thomas Anderson? Oh, you think that is it? Hold on, I have to do this. Oh, Doom 3 Xbox TV spot. Okay. Let's check it out. Let's see.
You're not gonna live.
Wait, hold on. That was fast and cool.
You're not gonna live.
Wait.
It will be painful.
There's so much going on here. Think there were intestines in the trash?
Doom 3, rated M for mature. Now on Xbox.
There was so much going on in that. It was very fast. I wonder if this was that. I remember an interview with a very edgy Reznor. There's a whole sound pack of the work that he did. Trent Reznor, Doom 3 interface is a very different thing. Oh yeah, it's probably in this somewhere. Maybe it's this.
And with it, the birth of a new generation.
Yeah, I recall. Something along these lines.
The original Doom was a really significant jump in gaming technology for the time.
I hear a fucking nerd.
Strides
there he is.
Every single game, everything is one of the most.
Yeah, this is definitely the thing.
That John Carmack has created has raised the bar for the PC.
Why we created and the old passes
Hold on. We've gone off road, but it's like semi-related, right?
As an animator from a film background, doing what this model, basically film quality.
Okay, it's like the last 2 minutes of this, I
Presented
think.
with the opportunity to work on Doom 3. That was a bandwagon I jumped on, rallied, and I really felt that's what another Doom game.
To an uncomfortable journey filled with demons and monsters. A decade later, id Software brings back the times to be.
This shit was so fucking
First
hype.
time I'd seen Doom and played Doom, it came at a very inopportune time where we were, I just finished the Downward Spiral album, and our keyboard player at the time walked in with the shareware of Doom. That halted any sort of work we were getting done. They put a game out that really catered to my taste. It seemed politically incorrect.
It's a huge Doom poster.
It seemed like a game that couldn't have been made by a giant company. It was fun. It was addicting. It really just struck a chord with me. That we don't give a shit attitude. That's one of the things that made it great. When I initially talked to John about the next project he was working on, and it ended up being Doom, I think one of the things that excited me about being involved in it was because games today, the technology allows a much more realistic, immersive environment. From a sound perspective, it's infinitely more creative. I'm intrigued about what we will be able to pull off in terms of really getting.
He does not have the headphones on his ears.
And making it an unpleasant place to be.
Also, what? He's got a candelabra. There's a candle going there. What's going on? He's got a rack of guitars. Where are you? And then that audio never came to be. Nor did that logo. But yeah, there's a sound pack that you can do for Doom 3 where you can get at least some of the work that he did. But it turned out that like they just didn't work well together. Just not a good schedule or something along those lines. But they did do Quake together, which is, at least that happened. Oh, but yeah, that's about it, folks. I think we've said all there is to say about the piano and Event Horizon for tonight. I think it was it was a bizarre but worthwhile pairing, and I always enjoy revisiting Event Horizon. So really a treat for me on this one was just getting to experience the piano for the first time. And I think it was absolutely worthwhile. I don't think I've seen Pandorum, no. You have one more. What, Dab? And then we need to figure out what we're doing for next enjoyers. At 1 hour 14 minutes, DJ screams. It sounds to me just like Copper when he loses his arms in the thing. When he loses his arms. Oh. At an hour 14, eh? Let's see. That scream right there. That really long scream. Let's compare. Uh-oh, why are there two? I don't know why there's two.
Probably shouldn't be too. Do you know the timestamp for when Cooper loses his fucking arms? I don't remember. Or Copper, I mean, sorry. You don't? What is that? Oh no. That's why there's two. It's fucked up. Something's fucked up. What about this one? I don't have audio. Of all the things. Oh, here we go. Oh my god. Sorry, I guess it's so high. It's the head spider. So I was right. Oh, I love that shot, by the way. I love when it sneaks out. Okay. Okay, I know what you're talking about now. Yeah, yeah, right before this. Right here. That's crazy. That's crazy, dude. It's not quite. It's not quite. It's so close. Ew. Okay, here comes. Yeah, it's quite similar. Both really fucking long, except for one's supposed to be like slow motion. But yeah. So bad. No, it's incredible. It's so great. You know, you cannot say a bad word about the thing. God, this is so iconic, by the way. I've always loved this. It's fantastic. Truly fantastic. Heroes all. Do you all want to watch Soldier? I kind of want to watch it now that I brought it up. We need a pairing, though. Don't know. Ghosts of Mars. What is that? I forget what that is. I don't think it's good. Isn't that a Snoop Dogg? Wait, no, wait. What is it? Oh, it's Ice Cube. What the fuck is this? The best and worst of Carpenter? But Soldier isn't. Wait, Universal Soldier is a funny suggestion. Universal Soldier is, I think, kind of a similar kind of deal, right? I forgot about Universal Soldier. Oh no, I'm wrapping up. But Fat Rat, thank you for the raid. Welcome, Ponderers.
It was a top secret government project.
Pack them in ice. All of them.
Designed.
This might be a good. Yeah, this might be a really good match.
Ever again have to die in the service of his country.
Cryogenically preserved.
Okay, guys, memory clearance.
Genetically enhanced.
How's the picture?
Pretty ugly.
Very funny, very funny.
Programmed to obey.
I can't remember the last time
Who are these guys?
I watched a Jean-Claude Van Damme film.
We're inside.
Yo, this soundtrack. Excuse me, pardon me. Excuse. Oh, hey, Bobold. What the hell? How are you doing? Good to see you. Long fucking time. This isn't this Terminator 2 that I'm hearing in the background of this trailer? Listen to this.
Pretty ugly.
Very funny, very funny.
Right here.
Programmed to obey.
We're at the tower. Okay, here we go.
Who are these guys?
30 hostages held inside the power station at the base of the structure.
I said shut up! We're inside.
Begin phase 2.
This marks the third successful mission for the Universal Soldier.
But there was something they didn't count on.
Pretty sure that's soundtrack stuff from like Terminator 2. The new place is coming along. We've still got a lot to do. We're still trying to move in. Started packing the retro stuff finally. So yeah, still a long ways to go, but the new place is lovely. Thank you for asking. That is the dam from Half-Life, yes. But yeah, Big Trouble Little Giant is not a bad suggestion. If we were doing more of like a Kurt Russell thing, I have to say I think I like pairing Soldier with Universal Soldiers. They're pretty funny.
44, do you read me?
At the end of the mission, he became completely unresponsive.
Inside the machine is a man. Do you really think the Pentagon would allow the regeneration of dead soldiers?
Stop the girl. Shoot if you have to.
And all it takes
Veronica Roberts, TNA.
is one memory
You didn't do anything.
to awaken him.
Go, hit it.
Traitor, Universal Soldier.
What the hell did they do to you?
Don't know.
Honestly, I'm not even sure if I've seen this.
But I'm going to find out.
I thought I had,
One can't be controlled.
but I don't think I actually have.
This mission has been canceled.
I'm giving the orders from now on. I'm gonna teach them all.
Yeah, no, it doesn't look particularly great.
The ultimate weapon
But I think it'll be kind of fun to watch.
have declared war on each other.
Oh yeah, it's Jean-Claude Van Damme, so we gotta have some kickboxing. I knew that was Dolph Lundgren.
Universal Soldier.
Stop. That is an order.
It looks bad. Good. This looks awful. Compliment. Yeah, let's make that the pairing then, I think. I think that'll be an interesting one. We'll do Big Soldier Enjoyers Committee 2 weeks from now, so that's gonna be on the 22nd. Holy shit, is that right? No, the 15th. 15th of August, Soldier and Universal Soldier. And yeah, it's gonna be weird. I think it's gonna be weird. Anyway, thank you all for joining me. I hope you enjoyed this Enjoyers Committee. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see y'all tomorrow for Sunday Gun Day. And then, presumably, hopefully, Pragmata returns on Monday. Night-night.